Thank you, President. Apart from the fact that I'm new here, I'd have never imagined receiving documents just when I get here and then discussing them because, well, it would be good to have them at least 1 hour beforehand to be able to look at them. But no, obviously this is democracy here in this House. It's a little bit uncomfortable giving the opposition an opportunity to actually look at the documents we're discussing. Now, I've heard talk of 50% till 2050. Well, that's just pipe dreams, isn't it? Climate neutrality before 2050. But have you looked at the social and economic impacts of this? I understand that the Commission needs to have a rather trendy image. It's not as if people really love you, but just coming up with buzzwords and slogans, I don't think it's the right thing, is it? Just to keep people happy. You've talked about promoting good quality food, but I'm wondering, with good quality food, is it what we've seen with the Nutri scores or the Tunisian olive oil or African oranges? Now, I'm saying it because in Europe we're required to fulfill certain standards, and then we can see all of a sudden you're doing trade deals with countries that do not adhere to these standards. The same applies for plastic. You keep talking about plastic free, and yet you have trade agreements with countries where pollution is running riot. I've heard you talk about bacteria made in Europe, but do you imagine the fact that today 70% of all bacteria in the world is from China, or batteries, correction, China, Korea and Japan? There's been a transition from coal to steel, and then the aim to go to electric. But I've wondered, isn't it the case that some countries want to transform their manufacturing at the cost of all European citizens? Is it only us who are thinking about this? But to me it seems very clear. You talked about 100 billion of investments in the next 7 years, and yet you are the ones looking at every dot and comma of the budgets, keeping a close eye on the country's budgets when they're trying to make things work back home. Now, I'm saying it for Italy, but I'm sure it applies across the board. And finally, it seems to me that hearing the Juncker plan all over again. He talked about the multiplier effect, that for every euro invested, we would gain 1,000% more. But that isn't the case. I'm very much hoping you can get real and move beyond all these slogans that you're bandying around. Thank you.